Welcome to the party. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Adventures with the Trendsetter. Here is your master of ceremonies for the evening, Brian Berga.
And that music can only mean one thing. That means you're listening to Adventures with the Trendsetter. I am your master of ceremonies, Brian Berga, thanking each and every single one of you for listening to this episode. Excited to have on the show, she is none other than the Puerto Rican princess, Shay Evans. Yay for Shay on the show. So super excited to have her on the show. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at Brian Berga. Make sure you follow the shenanigans I do on the High Spot Podcast at High Spot Podcast on Twitter, Instagram as well. Like us on Facebook and visit our website, highspotpodcast.com. All the things I do and talk about the world of professional wrestling with my tag team partner, Jeff Martin. So don't forget to watch that show. We post a new episode out every Friday, so definitely check it out. So for Shay Evans, guys, so excited, and my goodness, she is so stunning. She really is. But what I really liked about her is when I saw her at Sapphires, and I saw her at Sapphires on 39th Street, guys. And the thing about that is I go to 39th Street and I go to 60th Street, and you guys should consider going there too, because Sapphires has the best feature entertainers out there. And all you guys have to do, if you're members of the crew and want to go and join in the festivities with me, all you got to do is just mention the name High Spot Podcast, and you'll get free entry and a complimentary drink. You can't beat that deal. That is too sweet, as we say on the High Spot Podcast. But this is Adventures with the Trendsetter. Now, going back to Shay Evans, meeting her, of course, she's stunning, she's gorgeous, she's beautiful, she's all those adjectives. What I liked about her is she's very sarcastic. She's very quick-witted. She likes to go back and forth with you, and I like that, and I appreciate that more, because I'm very similarly like that as well. Now, most people might tell you that, I'm very, I'm an introvert, I'm very quiet. I've mentioned that on the show several times too. That's my demeanor when I'm not the quote-unquote trendsetter. But when I'm very comfortable with certain people, or I see their attitude or their personality showcase itself, it's very easy for me to read it and work around it or work with it. So with Shay, it was just, to me, an honor for her to come on the show. And I have to take a minute here and thank the Rising Star PR for allowing this to happen and reaching out to Shay. And Shay actually agreeing to do the show too, so her being a woman of her word, being a woman of honor to do it, so I thank her for that as well. Had a great time talking to her. I didn't know that much about Shay. All I knew is obviously from what I saw and what I spoke to her about, but it was a great conversation, I feel. We spoke about a lot of things, the ins and outs of the industry, her kind of starting up. She had a pretty interesting introduction into the adult film world. She was a swinger, so it was very early. She was very aware of her sexuality, which some people might look at as a negative, because they might feel that feeling the certain ways that they did or wanting to act on certain desires might be a negative thing or something wrong. No, she completely embraced it, and then ended up getting into the adult film industry and is probably one of the most popular adult film actresses out there. And, she's still only getting better and just looking more towards the future. So it was great to talk to her. And we actually dived into something I never thought we would dive into, because she's really into into signs. What day's your birthday? I'm a Capricorn. What day is your birthday? And vice versa, vice versa. And so it's really cool to see that dynamic of Shay and to talk to her about that. And we checked out our compatibility. And of course, we found out that we were not compatible. So, big surprise there. But it was so much fun talking to her. She's definitely somebody who brings a smile to your face, just because not only of how amazing she looks and how breathtaking she is when you first see her, but more importantly, when you get the chance to know her, you realize what a good heart she has. She believes a lot into the old school values that I believe in too, so it was easy to relate to her that way too. So I was just really happy to have her on the show, and hope you guys enjoy the interview, or quote unquote what I call conversation that I have with Shay Evans here on Adventures with the Trendsetter. And we're back with another episode of Adventures with the Trendsetter. I'm the Trendsetter himself, Brian Berga. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Got a special guest. Well, all my guests are special, but this one particularly, I met her at Sapphires in New York City. She's graced us with her presence. She is none other than the Puerto Rican princess, as I call her, and I'm sure she's known by a lot of people, Miss Shay Evans. Shay, thank you so much for coming on the show. First and foremost, how are you doing? How's your day been so far?
It's great. Yay for Shay. My dog, I have a dog. His name is Teddy.
Yes.
And
how's Teddy doing?
It's his first day of training. It's his first day of training, and I'm kind of freaking out as a mom because he's going to be away for 2 weeks. board and trained. So hopefully he comes back a good pup. But I'm kind of like emotional.
Yeah, you said that on social media too, and I wanted to touch base on that. And since you already mentioned it too, clearly there's a close attachment between the two of you. Obviously, most people don't have a pet, don't really realize that's not really a pet. It becomes part of your family. It becomes a son or daughter, becomes a brother, whatever the case might be. So you're hoping to keep busy these 2 weeks, or you feel they're going to fly by?
Okay, hopefully next week will be pretty fast. I'm definitely going to be pretty busy. I've got the award show on Sunday, the Urban X Awards. I've got a couple nominations for that. And then I'm going to be the celebrity bartender in Washington, D.C., nice. And then I'm going to close up the weekend in Vegas, so that should be pretty quick.
Yeah, I got a feeling you'll be preoccupied. You'll be pretty busy you're obviously getting worried because you're a concerned mother, but I got a feeling it's going to go by pretty quickly because you're going to be kept busy anyway. It's not like you're sitting at home waiting for 2 weeks to go by.
Yeah, no, the following week is what I'm worried about. I'll be home, and I'll be like, looking at his little toys. I don't even know. I don't want to cry about it.
Okay, well, real quick, we'll move on from the subject, but what kind of dog is Teddy?
He's a Maltese poodle mix, so multi-poo.
Oh, very nice, very nice. So, Shay, moving on from that, and hopefully to lighter stuff, because I know 2 weeks can't come soon enough for you, and I'm obviously, as well as all your fans on social media, hope for it to go by so you guys can be reunited once again. Something I was curious because I met you in New York. It seemed like in the beginning of July. Great experience, guys. If you've never seen Shay ever feature dance before, definitely go check her out. Definitely a great show, entertaining. And then to meet you and talk to you for a few minutes was amazing just because, I don't think most people understand the travel and the work ethic it comes in to be this. I mean, I think people see the photos on Instagram, they see the stuff on Twitter, and they think, oh, it's really cool, and especially if, you're traveling to New York City. But, can you talk a little bit about the fact of, like, the workload that goes into something like this? Because I don't think a lot of people kind of understand it. How hectic can it be? Is it something that you can actually lose control of pretty easily?
It is pretty hectic. It definitely takes it's a learning curve. Typically I have to be at LAX for those kind of New York shows, East Coast shows. I've got to be at LAX at 4 in the morning for a 6 a.m. flight, and then I'm flying all day, and then I get in, I might take a quick nap if I'm lucky, get some food in, get dressed, get ready, head to the club. So it's kind of like boom, 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 just one thing after another thing after another thing that you kind of have to stay on top of to be on time. So it's a lot of work, and you definitely don't get a lot of sleep on these days. So you're dealing with the fatigue of flying and, being in a whole other time zone. New York is significantly ahead, and so it's just kind of it's a lot. I think it's a lot of work.
What do you think you get adjusted to better, the West Coast time or the East Coast time? Because at that point you were staying in the city for a little bit, weren't you?
Yeah, I had stayed in for a couple of days, luckily, but I don't always get that privilege. So most of the time I'm in and out. After my show, I go to bed for a few hours, and then I'm back on an airplane. So that's typically how it goes. But that trip, I want to say I stayed maybe a couple of days just to sleep and hang out a bit, see some sights. But
yeah, especially for this.
It's not always that easy.
No, not at all. And you're a trooper. And like, I remember telling you, like, my day was really long. I said I was up at 4 in the morning. You're like, oh, you know what? So am I. You're not going to give me a pity party, which I wasn't asking for one, but you definitely weren't going to give me a pity party because you were doing the exact same thing, which is definitely a reason why I have so much respect and admiration for what you guys do, especially you and how hard you work. And usually when most people don't understand, when most people, especially majority of people live in Los Angeles anyway, travel to the city, they're in New York, and then you're there for that night. And then for the most part, you're lucky enough you spend a couple days there, you said. But sometimes for some features, I see them, they're scheduled there, and then the following day they're scheduled to go back to Vegas. So they have to make another flight right afterwards to go to Vegas, do an event there, which is the largest club in Las Vegas, or I think the world, Sapphire. And then you got to do the pool party the following day.
Yes. And that's typical. That happens a lot. I was very fortunate it didn't happen that day. It was the day after 4th of July, and I think that's how I got lucky.
Oh, okay.
But typically you are flying. It's an in and out kind of thing. And so you've got to keep your momentum. You've got to sleep on the plane as much as you can. It takes a lot of you. It does. But meeting people that are your fans and meeting people that know you and love you already, that's worth all of the hassle of traveling, going back and forth. That's worth all of that. So it's kind of like I have to go through all this crap, but at the end it'll be rewarding. So.
Oh yeah, I mean it's rewarding for obviously your fans and supporters, but you could tell it's also rewarding to you. I mean, and only from my point of view could I tell that maybe you wish you could spend a little bit more time. You don't want to feel like you rush anybody, and you didn't rush anybody. You spent your time talking to your fans, but at the same time probably you weren't feeling your best, and you wish you could for them. Talking about that, I mean, you made to certain conventions. You've been to the AVN Awards before too, but just kind of talk based on that too. I mean, you seem to be somebody who's very humble at heart when I first met you. Can it get sometimes a little bit overwhelming when you do meet your fans and your supporters and people that are admirers of your work and what you do? Can it be kind of overwhelming for you sometimes, or sometimes you don't know how to take it?
Oh, absolutely. I don't know how much anybody knows about me, but I'm a nervous person when it comes to crowds, when it comes to lots of people. And so one-on-ones, they're amazing for me because I can take the time and really dive into the conversation and just take it all in and, just kind of go back and forth. But when it becomes like a crowd or big crowds, sometimes I get a little anxious. I have really bad anxiety, and it's difficult for me to, give my all and, pay all of the attention that I can give. It's just sometimes it's very hard to balance and to do it all, especially when it just comes all at once. And I don't even know how to explain what I mean by that, but I love talking to people one-on-one. I prefer one-on-one. I prefer, small groups. It's a lot easier, and then you get to know people. It's difficult to talk to multiple people at one time. So just really getting to know people and just understanding and figuring out why they like you. And, that's the cool part of it, because I'm just me being me, and it's amazing to hear, they like me because of this. And it's just something that is really awesome that you don't get to hear all the time in a normal situation, like day to day. So.
What are some of the responses you usually get from fans when you ask them that question? Why do you like me so much?
I get a lot of you're humorous. I really like that you're down to earth, that you seem like somebody I could actually hang out with. And to me, that means the most to me, because it's just kind of like, okay, dope. Like, I love that. Yeah. That you think that, I could be a friend, even though I'm going and I'm doing really sexy things and I'm pleasuring people that way. It's also amazing to be able to pleasure their mind and, just kind of make them my friend.
Yeah, no, it's kind of funny you say that too, because like I get your point when you say you like the one-on-one, more of the intimate type of conversations, because they can be a little bit easier depending on how nervous obviously the person is meeting you. But it's always good to see certain individuals, because unlike a convention, you're going there, you're selling sex, you're selling the fantasy, the allure of what the adult film industry is. But at the same time, when people are able to separate those two, which isn't very easy sometimes, it can be very rewarding as well. Because sometimes people, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure you've come across this several times, where they can't separate the Shay Evans, the fantasy girl, compared to the Shay Evans who's standing right in front of you.
Yeah, and I don't blame that. I am a fantasy. I am that person, and it's nice to know that I am being a really good fantasy. But it's also nice when I am able to be treated, like a person that's not a fantasy, like a person that you get to meet and talk to, and just have a good time and enjoy yourself and have laughs, and no, that's the best part. But the fantasy aspect, I have no problem being in fantasy. That's my job,
Yeah, of course, it's your job. You do it very well. I mean, that's what people are recognizing you more for. But it's cool sometimes. I mean, I'm using that more in the sense of, you go to the conventions, you do the feature dancing. Of course, yeah, that's what you're selling. But at the same time, like for example, do you get noticed Sorry about that. Do you get noticed a lot in the streets when you're out there? And sometimes when you're in the streets and you're out there, for example, grocery shopping or something like that, all right, you're not selling anything. You're just being you.
Mhm. You know, it's funny because I feel like I get recognized more on the East Coast, and I have no idea why. I was in Miami a few times, and I was recognized, and New York, I get recognized at the airports a lot. In California, I feel like I almost never get recognized. It's like more like in my Uber rides or like just random instances, but
you know what it is? They probably see all the time there, and us in the East Coast probably don't see enough. And so as soon as we see you, we're like, oh my God, there's Shay. You know? Yeah, the West Coast takes you for granted, basically. They're like, oh, there's Shay. We see her every single day. We'll see her tomorrow, type of thing. You know.
I'd love to hope that.
You know the what?
I said I'd love to hope that. I just think they don't care. Nobody cares.
Nah, the West Coast, they're selfish. They don't care. We in the East Coast, we do care because we don't see individuals like yourself. I mean, it's funny though because I checked your profile pic on your PR department, and you're rocking a lot of New York stuff anyway. So it's like no wonder they love you in New York. Don, like wearing Yankees caps and like Brooklyn shirts. You would think you were from the East Coast anyway, although you were born on the West Coast.
Exactly. Well, it's kind of funny you say that because when I had first gone to New York, I had gone to New York before I went to Miami for the first time. I love Miami too. First time I went to New York, I was like, so what is everybody talking about they're mean here? They're totally dope here. I love it here.
They're nice to you. Like, they're not so nice to us or to me.
I don't know. I feel very at home in New York for some odd reason. Maybe I had a past life there.
Maybe. You never know. I believe in that stuff.
Who knows?
No, I definitely believe in past lives, and maybe just like, for example, you're a West Coast girl, but your heart's maybe on the East Coast. Who knows? It's just more natural in sense of that way. But no, it's funny how you say that. Yeah, of course, it's easy for them to be nice to you as opposed to me, I just want to run people over because they're in my way because I want to get home right away. And especially on the holidays, man. The holidays, it's like, God bless people that, you know, come into the city, for example, and they want to see the sights and the Christmas tree and all that nice jazz, which is coming up right now because summer's almost over. Damn it, I can't believe I said that. But it's so true. I know but it's true, and it's one thing working in the city and living in there, which I don't know how people live in the city, but it's another thing when you're not there as often that you're there and you enjoy it for what it's worth. And Miami too. I mean, I've only been in Miami once in my life, and definitely want to go visit it again. I was trying to go there for Exotica in Miami, but I heard from some people it wasn't a very good turnout over there.
You know, I don't know because I was supposed to go as well, and I had to cancel my trip last moment, so I didn't end up going. So I actually don't know what happened there or how the turnout was. I hope it was well.
Some people say it was well, but it's not, for example, like the ones up in, the next one coming up is in Jersey.
Yes, I can't wait.
Yeah, are you going to that one?
Yeah, I will be at that one.
Damn right. I will see you there. And then the ones in Chicago did pretty well. The ones in Colorado, I think, did really well too. But I don't know, something about you'd think Miami, perfect mix and match. But I guess they said the turnout was good, but wasn't what they expected it to be.
Yeah, I mean, well, it was their first year back after taking a break for a few years. So, I mean, maybe next year will be better. They'll know, oh, it's back. You know, maybe it just wasn't. Maybe people were trying to feel it out, and maybe everybody felt it out instead of going. Who knows? I don't know. I didn't go, so.
No, definitely. If there's one next year and you go to there and I'm visiting that place as well, I'll definitely ask you where the spots to get a nice pina colada.
Pina colada. Is that your Miami drink?
No, I'm just making it up. That's the only drink I know, kind of. I'm not much of a drinker, to be honest with you. I socially drink. So, I feel like, for example, if we were to hang out afterwards, you would probably, be my my guide, my Mr. Miyagi in terms of, what kind of drinks to have and experiment with. Because there's one thing to try it out, but then when you really don't know, it's all trial and error. You're like, I'd rather trust somebody who knows what they're talking about, kind of sense.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I'm the one that knows what I'm talking about. I've been in Miami a few times, but they've always been, work things. So it's always like, I see the airport, I see the hotel room, I see the location, and then I go back to the hotel room, and then I still see the airport. So it's kind of like, when I can get out, I get out. But
You're more there
I
to
definitely want
work
to do
and to
a
rest.
real trip. I'm sorry?
No, yeah. When you're there, you're working, and you're there, and you want to rest, and you just said you want to be there. You want to do more of a trip just to Miami.
Yes.
Work related. Oh, that's awesome. Well, keep me posted.
No, yeah, and my birthday is next month.
I know.
September
I didn't want to
27th.
mention it. I think it was gonna be. I thought mentioning your birthday was gonna be worse than mentioning that Teddy wasn't there with you now, because a lot of people don't like getting older. What are your feelings towards that? I mean, I'm wishing you a early birthday. I'll obviously wish you a happy birthday when it does arrive that day. But feeling excited? What are the feelings like that your birthday's approaching?
It's my golden birthday, so I'm turning 27 on September 27th.
Wow, congratulations.
And,
You actually said the number.
I'm sorry?
No, I said congratulations. You actually said the number. Most people wouldn't say the number.
Oh, I'm not ashamed. I have lived a life, and
Oh, no, I'm not.
my grandma and my mom both look hot. They're amazing, and so I'm not really concerned about getting old or aging or
Okay.
because they look great. So I figure if they look great, I should look great, right? So.
Oh, yeah, of course. No, you would think so, too. Not just most people are always touching on that subject, and most people don't even like to think they're approaching their 30s. So that's great for you. I mean, I'm the same thing, too. I'm in my 30s, or I'm like 32 years old. And but I got the face of a baby, so I look younger than I do.
Yeah.
And
I was gonna say, I don't think I wouldn't have thought that. Okay.
Oh, you saw my profile picture?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I got a baby face. I got a baby face with this beard, this grotesque beard that I have. I shave it off, and I look like I'm 16 years old again.
It's okay. People, I think, I will be very happy if I continue to play 18-year-old girls for a while now, because it's like I'm turning 27. That's a whole, 9 years?
No, yeah, of course.
More?
No, yeah, no, it's more. But
I'm bad at math right now. What is that?
Nah, it's all right. You're like I said, you're just waking up from a nap, so you're not fully thinking straight right now. But it's funny though, because at 25, and most people are trying to figure things out, or that's kind of the age where you do figure things out. But it had been quite a while, because you started back in November of 2015, right, into this industry.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
you kind of had things figured out in a sense now. I mean, look where you are. You're going to be 27 years old right now. You've made a pretty successful career for yourself. You've hopefully saved a lot of your money and making smart investments. And you're not doing like things like I am, where I'm working 4 or 5 jobs a day just to, not necessarily make ends meet, but trying to push ahead in this business that I decided to choose, which is radio. So congratulations to you, and definitely a pat on your back. If I could pat you on your back, I would, because it's great. Most people at this time in their life can't really enjoy it, and you have the ability of enjoying your time right now in your late 20s. Any plans for your birthday? Going out, going to hang with the family, friends? What's going on?
I did so much the past 5 years. I did so much planning. I did so much I don't know, getting ready for my birthday, that this year I'm just kind of I think I'm over it. I don't know anything that I want to do. I almost don't want to do anything. I don't want it to be this big letdown.
Yeah.
I love outdoor eating and drinking, so I might try to see if they're doing any outdoor rooftop movies or something in LA. But something really chill.
Go to the drive-in, watch an old movie.
Yeah, I would love to do that. That would be amazing. I'd be super happy.
I've never been to the drive-in. Are there a lot of drive-ins in Los Angeles or in the West Coast?
I don't know about Los Angeles, but I grew up in Fontana, and there was one specifically a mile or so, maybe 2 miles away from my parents' house out there. So we used to always go to a drive-in movie.
Yeah, that's an interesting dynamic. I never tried that before. Over here on the Jersey, New York side, not really a lot of that stuff around anymore. You can kind of makeshift one yourself, but it's not the same. So definitely have to try that out. I'm an outdoorsy guy too, to an extent. I don't like camping or anything like that, but my birthday unfortunately is in December, so there's not really much I can do on my birthday outside.
Oh, okay. December, is it December, what sign?
23rd, so I'm a Capricorn.
Capricorn, okay. I was thinking Sagittarius, but okay. Capricorn. I don't know much about Capricorns.
What you want to know about Capricorns? We're very quiet. We're very reserved. We're good with money. I guess saving it. We're great listeners. And supposedly we're the ideal type for a lot of people, but we're not an exact match for anybody in terms of the signs. I've done a little research on this because I always kind of figured out like, you know, my patterns of girls that I was interested in and stuff like that, and was wondering, is there a particular sign that I'm attracted to, or I should lean more towards? And yeah, most people say that I'm not. I guess most people would say I'm more of an introvert. I mean, you couldn't tell me by me talking to you. I like conversations with people, but at the same time, when I'm by myself or I'm with family or close friends, I can be kind of quiet, but it doesn't mean I'm depressed. It just means I'm quiet. I just want to keep to myself to an extent.
Well, you know, I think I'm the same way. I mean, you see me on the films, and you see me perform on a stage.
Yeah, or talking to you right now. You seem like a great conversationalist.
Yeah, but, you know, I think that there's a very personal, like, internal part of me where I need to, you know, recharge and just, like, have my alone time and do nothing. So I just feel like there's a bit of an introvert in me. Who knows?
Do you do a lot of, like, self-evaluation of yourself? That's what I usually do sometimes, especially on my birthday time.
Well, I'm a Libra, so I feel like I'm constantly evaluating every situation.
Oh, I got to look up real quick while we're talking. I got to look up Libra and Capricorn's compatibility.
So that's why I was asking about Sagittarius, because I know that Libra and Sagittarius are very compatible.
If I was born a little bit later in January. I was actually supposed to be born in January. But, the umbilical cord was wrapped around me, and my mom said I just wanted to get out. So,
wow.
Yeah, so I was like, I was born earlier than expected. I basically ruined my brother's first Christmas, or second Christmas, or fourth Christmas, yeah. Capricorn, compatibility, let's see. This is fun. Man, this is something like we would never do on the show. So, are Capricorns and Libra good matches? All right, so let's go to compatibility and sex, love, and life. Let's go to this.
Okay,
yeah. So when it comes to, this sucks for me, Libra and Capricorn, sexual and intimacy compatibility, we are unfortunately, Shay, at 15%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
15?
15%. Yeah, it says when we're speaking of sexual relationships between Libra and Capricorn, first thing that comes to mind is waiting. Ruled by Venus and Saturn, I don't know what that means. Let's see. I'm reading. When it comes to sex, it's a combination that could point to a lack of sexual activity, even though both of these signs find sex extremely important in their lives. I would agree. Would you?
I would definitely agree.
Okay, so I don't understand what's going on here. To begin with, they might feel no attraction at all. Well, that doesn't work for me. I was immediately attracted to you when I first met you, and even start a relationship on the basis formed in friendship, only to realize that there is no chemistry between them. If lack of attraction doesn't stop them, usually something else will. It's a combination that gives in to the outer circumstances of things that are out of their control. Both of them feel pressured, and their self-esteem could suffer greatly. I never feel pressured to do it. To me, it's always up to the girl. It's always up if you're in the mood, because I'm always in the mood. Still, there's.
I'm always in the mood.
Yeah, so this doesn't seem pretty accurate. But like, why would we be waiting with each other? I have no idea. If we're both physically attracted. Well, no, again, I can only speak for me. I can't speak for you. But if we were both physically attracted to each other, why would we be waiting? This makes them both. What?
I said, but wait, I do porn. What am I waiting for?
It might be different because I know people hate that word, but I'm a civilian though, right? So if, for example, have you done porn with people you're not attracted to though?
Have I done porn with people I'm not attracted to?
I mean, you can't be attracted to everybody, can you?
No, yeah. I mean, but the thing is, when I have sex, it's not necessarily all physical.
Yeah.
Like, it's always something like about someone that I find very sexy, and then I go from there. So yeah, I don't really know.
All right, so that would probably be the issue. Like, for example, if you found me physically attractive, but our chemistry in terms of how we spoke or our flow of talking to one another or how our values were didn't match up, maybe then it only was physical. And you would think, oh, physical's enough, but maybe it's not for you. And I would agree, too. I mean, hey, if I find you very sexually attractive, but at the same time, if I see that there's no chemistry other than just looks, that might also, believe it or not, as a guy talking, that might actually taper me down as well. So this is getting gloomier and gloomier as we're going here. Both of them could
So
feel...
we've come to the agreement that we're not dating. Is that what we have come to the agreement of?
I didn't agree to anything, Shay. It looks like you're coming to that agreement before anything. Like, you're already making that decision for me, and I don't even have a say in this relationship. What the hell, man? See, now it started. It started, and we haven't even done anything. We haven't even met each other. Well, we've met each other once, but we haven't even gone on a date together, and now you're saying that. Oh, so it's already over. So when I see you in November, I might as well not even ask you to go out and grab a bite to eat. So I might as well just not even try. But pressure, self-esteem. Well, this is just depressing. But basically, yeah, our sexual and intimacy compatibility might not be there. But what can you say, I guess? But hey, you know, I admire that about you, because at the same time, a beautiful person like yourself could probably, and most people would think, oh, well, she does porn, she's beautiful, you know, she'll screw anything. Not necessarily the case. She has to find you attractive first, and then, you know, if for example, I can only assume, and most females agree to this, I'm not going to stereotype you here, but, you know, if there's humor involved and you can make the person laugh and feel comfortable, that goes a long way rather than your looks. Would you say, or no?
Oh, absolutely. No, that's absolutely correct. I don't think that I could actually be with someone that doesn't make me laugh, because then I'm just kind of like, this guy's boring. I can't do this.
Exactly. So now I have to count every single time I'm making you laugh, and then add that to this whole test thing to see if I have a shot. But in terms of trust, though, we're pretty good at trust. Though we're at 80%.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so fantastic. Libra and Capricorn, a really high level of trust between them, even though Libra can sometimes have questionable motives. Do you have questionable motives, Shay? I have no idea. A Capricorn partner will make them turn to Saturn completely and feel guilty at the smallest glimpse of a possible lie. Now, this is true. Usually, if I catch somebody at a lie, I will call them out on it. And
oh, see, and I'm the opposite. If I catch someone in a lie, I will just note the lie and keep it a secret to myself, and I'll just remember the lie for forever.
No, yeah, well, I'm not a big person of lying myself, though. I don't like to lie, and so when somebody lies to me, I feel that's you're breaking trust, because I would never lie to you. Why would you lie to me? So I'm going to call you out on it. No. I'm not going to play games with you in a sense.
See, and that's the thing that I am. I cannot stand liars. There's no point in lying in life. So it's either, when you have a lie, I'm just going to note it down, take a mental note, and now I know. Now our relationship has completely changed, because, and you don't even know it yet, because I won't tell you about it.
Oh, yeah, you'll just keep it stored in, and you'll just wait for the perfect moment to let it go. It'll be like a grenade. You're just waiting to pop that thing, count to 5, and throw it back in my face, right?
No, that's exactly what it is. Like,
exactly.
I'm not even going to lie. Like, I will just hold it in. I'll be so good, and then you do one wrong thing, and then it's like a big, giant explosion.
That's true. It comes to Libra and Capricorn values. We're at 50 right here. 50. More important values for Libra and Capricorn share their values of time and taking responsibility. I do find those to be very important things. Just like I appreciate you taking time out of your busy day of things that you do to speak to me. So I appreciate that. I never take it for granted. And also responsibility, being responsible. This can help them overcome any differences and opposing attitudes, values, or convictions for each other. Partners they will be ready to understand and set other responsibilities they have toward each other. This is a good training for Libra partner to find grounding, but it usually won't be pleasant for any of them in a romantic relationship. Shut up. I know we won't be in a romantic couple. I get it. Jeez, it's like they keep poking me with this. I get it, all right? I got no shot. Stop mentioning it to me. But we're good on a lot of values because we share a lot of values, but I guess a lot of those don't mix up. So that was depressing, but it was fun though.
No, yeah, it was good. Now I feel like I have to do this with everybody I meet. I'm like, okay, what's your sign? Let's do this.
Yes, but I was the first though, so you'll never forget your first.
You were the first.
Yes, I probably wasn't as enjoyable than the next couple ones you'll do it with, but still, I was your first. So
you popped the cherry. You got it.
And that is not necessarily always the best thing, too, because you even talked about your virginity, too. You said when you lost your virginity, it wasn't the best time in the world. It wasn't the best thing. It's like it's a second, third, and fourth. So, like, man, this is getting worse and worse. I have nothing to be happy about right now. Besides talking to you, obviously. Besides talking to you. But as we move past that, I love that I'm making you laugh. So, to me, it's like I can...
Oh, yeah, there you go.
That's one of my favorite things, honestly. With some interviews, and I try not to be very... You know, I'm not the kind of scenario, and I'm not attacking anybody when I say this, though, but at the same time, I'm not going to hold back. Or I could get kind of tired. I'm sure you get tired being asked these questions, too, where, like, Shay, what's your favorite sexual position? Shay, does penis size matter? What turns you on? What gets you in the mood? You know, all this stuff that I get, but at the same time, it's the same question that gets asked over and over again. It might change. So one day you say doggy style, one day you might say missionary. Who knows? After 3 months, it changes. But at the same time, it's like, I want to know more about the person. I don't really care too much about what their sexual preferences.
Which, speaking on that, does that make me a liar now? Because, 3 months ago I did an interview and I said doggy, and now all of a sudden now I'm missionary. And, what if someone had done their homework and they were like, nope, she likes doggy.
Yeah.
Does that make me a liar?
No, it doesn't make you a liar. It makes you have a brain and have the ability to change over time. That's to say if I liked, for example, avocados when I was 5 years old, and it was my favorite food. Now I don't like that. I actually like eating mangoes. Oh, you're lying. No, I wasn't lying. I just liked eating that particular thing for that extended period of time. Now that's not my favorite food anymore. I wasn't lying at that moment. Now it's something different. And I have to tell you, too, I am a missionary guy myself. For some reason, for me, it's my favorite position, too. I feel it's more intimate than anything.
Yeah, no, and okay, call me crazy, but I've gotten really into this thing where people touch when they have sex, a person actually touching body to body instead of being like 500 miles apart. Like, we don't have to create a movie, the movie we're 500 miles apart because the camera has to get in there.
Yeah, and that's what people don't understand too. I mean, yeah, maybe dog is appealing for people that like that position, and you have to open up to the camera. And that's a whole other thing too when it comes to camera sex compared to actual sex. To me, I'm an intimate person. Maybe it's something for the fact that we're both Latinos. I'm a Latino guy. I was born here, but my family has ancestry of Peruvian, so they're Peruvian, my parents.
Oh, yeah.
You're Puerto Rican. So maybe it's more of the Latin thing. We're very passionate people. So when I have been with my ex-girlfriend at the time, or I've been with somebody, it's more of like, I'm not trying to do a porno here. We're trying to essentially do something. And I got to be honest with you, and tell me if you don't mind sharing too. To me, what gets me really turned on when I'm with a girl is the making out process. If we are good kissers, oh my goodness, that can take us in so many different directions.
Okay, so to me, if the guy is a good kisser, then absolutely. That's super good turn on. If he's not a good kisser and just like shoving his tongue down my throat, or like I'm putting my teeth in the way and he's like literally licking my teeth, like, not so much.
Is that kind of a turn off, or you kind of let that one slide and like, all right, let's maybe he's not a great kisser, we can move on to something else?
Yeah. I mean, that's why I put my teeth in the way, because it's kind of like, all right, this isn't really working. Let's move on. And it's like they don't really get the hint, and they're just sitting there licking your teeth and just like confused. You're like, I don't really want to say this out loud, so can you please get the hint that you're just licking my teeth?
See, that's the thing, Shay. I would hope that if you and I ever kiss, you would tell me immediately, nah, Brian, no. Not just hold it and make me assume something that, maybe she enjoyed. Not that I'm a great kisser. I'm not going to ever, and I'm not here boosting myself but I've had no complaints from other girls. They're like, oh, wow, you're a really good kisser. Especially when I was a virgin at the time and I kissed a girl and I was making out with her and I was just going by what I was feeling. She was like, there's no joke when I said this, but she said to me, there's no fucking way you're a virgin the way you're kissing me right now. I was like, no, I swear I am. She's like, there's no fucking way. But and it just comes natural to some people. I'm not saying that's to me, but at the same time, it kind of makes or breaks it. It really sets the mood. But at the same time, it's not a break deal too. But I'm also a giver. What about you? Are you a giver?
I think I'm mainly a giver. Like, I think majority of the time I'm worried about the other person, not so much me. There are like little things that irk me during sex that, as long as you don't do that, where I'm 100% happy. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what happens, I don't even have to come. Don't breathe in my ear.
Okay. Let me write this down. Hold on one sec. Do not breathe in
your... Do you have a notepad?
Both ears. Okay.
Yeah. I don't even like my ear bit. Like, I don't want biting. Like, you can do like neck kissing and stuff, but like once you get to the ear, like it's just a weird. There's going to be breath in my ear, and I'm not going to like it. So no.
Gotcha. Stay around the cheek area, the neck. Keep away from the ear.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yes. And if my bangs are forward, please don't pull them back.
Okay.
pull them to the side, put it behind my ear. Don't pull them straight back. So absolutely ruin the moment.
Oh yeah, don't mess up the bangs. Seriously.
Because I'm still filming a video in my head, you know, like it's still
in your head.
Personal video.
Oh, okay. All right. Is there another one?
But then, other than that, no. Other than that, I'm 100% okay, and I'm happy to be doing everything. So, like, I want the other person to be like chill and relaxed and having a good time. It's not like depending on me. You know?
Gotcha. Okay. Well, this is why we're not compatible then. This is probably why. Because you and I would be going back and forth battling each other of trying to please the other.
Have you done that? Have you done that?
To an extent. I mean, not in like an argument like, hey, I'm doing this. Give me 10 more minutes and then it's you, okay? No, back and forth. No, it's never been like that before. But it's been like, for example, I like pleasing a girl. Believe it or not, I don't know if most guys remember, but I do like going down on a girl. And so when I do that, I like spending time and trying to make her come at least. I have made girls come, but trying to make her do it again and over and over and over as many times as I possibly can. It gets to the point where it's obviously sensitive for them. They want to break, or they're just in the mood that they want to now kind of reciprocate and return the favor to me. And it's more like, oh, no, I want you to get to that certain point because at the same time, it's like it's a turn on for me as well. So, it'd be a constant battle between you and I over and over. It'd be like, no. Shay, lay down.
Yeah, because...
Lay in your back. Let me do the work here.
No, it definitely would be a battle because I'd be like, no, I have to go down on you because, like, now that would turn me on more than actually receiving.
Exactly. See how I play it?
So, yeah, it would be a battle.
I'd be holding you down, my hand, I wouldn't be choking you, but my hand would nice around your throat. Nope, you're staying down there to get you more in the mood. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, all right. And also, too, my one thing that you should never do, so write a note or make a mental note, don't mess up my beard.
So, like, no touching it?
No, you can touch it, but here's the thing. One time with a couple girls, sometimes, like, I'm down there, or we're kissing, and they put their hands in my beard. I have no problem you putting hands in my beard, but then they just they take their hand and they mush it all around. Like, why are you doing that? And then it's all out of place, and then I gotta like pull the hairs all back together and make it look nice and clean because otherwise it's going in so many directions. And I'm like, okay, well, this is kind of annoying now because it's kind of killing the mood because I'm taking like a 3-minute break right now to reset my beard. And all I want to do is kiss you and make out with you, but it's all in my face, up my nose, and stuff like that, and I don't like that.
Okay, so this is where we won't work, because I'll fuck up your beard, and you're going to pull my bangs back.
Yeah, so you're gonna mess up my beard, I'm gonna mess up your bangs, and then I'm gonna blow in your ear.
No, don't do that.
Exactly.
This is horrible. I will actually get upset.
Well, don't mess up my beard. I will get upset with you. I was like, girl, come on, seriously? I told you. And you seem like the kind of person, though, Shay, that as you're laughing a little bit, you're like, okay, I'll do it anyway, you know, because I want to see his reaction and see what it's going to be like. As opposed to me, I'd probably be like, I would never do that to you.
I'm a Libra. I don't like consequences, and I don't like confrontation, and I don't like that, so I wouldn't do that.
Oh, okay. But then I would pull the joke with you, like, oh, what'd you do that for? And be like, no, I didn't do anything.
Yeah. You're gonna make me cry now? Is that what you're trying to do?
No, I'm just like messing around and having fun. But it's funny, like we just went right off topic, but it's amazing there. Shay, something I wanted to ask you as we're going to the fact that you and I are not compatible and how it would work in bed between the two of us. For some strange reason, we went to that topic. But also, what I wanted to ask you is that, you know, when you started this whole journey, I mean, you first started as, you know, you were a swinger, and then from a swinger you converted over to the adult film industry. Did you have any preconceived notions when you dove into it? And then from there to where you are now, were you like, man, you know, it was nothing like I thought it was going to be? Did you get that feeling, or did you kind of have an idea, at least in your head, of what you were getting into?
Oh, yeah, no, it was completely like that. Like, I had no idea what in the world. Okay, so I thought I knew because I'd watched a bunch of movies. Yeah. And the adult entertainment industry is nothing like it is on the movies. There's just no way that you can explain to someone what it's like until you're actually in it. And so it was a lot more professional. It was a lot more, you know, just put together. And it was like a real job. And for some reason, I was thinking it just wasn't going to be a real job. I have no idea why I was thinking that, really. But now it's just kind of silly to think back about what I thought. And I was I had no idea what I was getting myself into, really. I mean, I knew I was going to be having sex on camera, and that was what I was going to be doing. But I had no idea how hard it would be, how much, like, pressure would be on me, and just how much, like, professionalism there is as a whole. So it was completely different.
Now you're coming on 3 years now in the industry. Has it felt that long, or has it felt like it's kind of flown by like that? I mean, you've accomplished yet so much within the span of 3 years.
You know, I wish, I want more. As crazy as it sounds, like,
we all do in a sense.
You know, I'm coming up to 27, and I'm like, okay, before I'm 30, I have goals. You know, I have long-term goals, I have short-term goals, and I want it all. So I want more movies, I want more photo shoots, I want to do more feature dancing. I just want more. So do I think it went fast? I don't know. It went kind of fast and slow and fast and slow. It was like a hurry up and wait kind of situation.
Yeah.
I feel like this year has oddly gone very slow, but last year feels like it went so fast. So I think it just depends. You know, it's fast and slow. So hopefully next year or the end of this year will go fast, but because I'm getting tons of work.
And that's always a good thing. I mean, getting work. I mean, I'm sure your first year it's difficult because nobody knows who you are. So you're kind of going off what's being offered or what you can get, as opposed to people coming up to you now approaching you. Something I was always curious, and I wonder if you can kind of set my mind on this too. And I'm sure it differs for everybody, I'm pretty sure, because you're all independent contractors unless you have contract with like a production company or something like that. And then you're a contract girl, I guess. But when you first start out, there's a certain net value of worth of what you are since you're a newbie, right? And then as you're progressing the industry and you're in there longer, you start building a bigger fan base, you start promoting, branding yourself like you're doing now, and you've done a great job in the 3 years you've been in the industry. How do you set Oh, no problem. I give credit where credit is due, and you've done a really great job at doing that and continue to do that into, obviously, 2019. But where does this decision come up where you set your net worth? Like, for example, right, when you first start off, say you do a girl, then you're doing a boy, and then most people, not everyone, hold out because, I'm going to hold it out. I'm holding out for anal. I'm holding out for a gangbang. I'm holding out for an orgy, because the longer I hold out, the more money will be on the shelf. Some people have told me it's personal choice. Some people just dive right into it. It's their preference. I get it. But at what point do you start changing the rate? Like, for example, where you started in 2015 isn't necessarily going to be the same rate now in 2018. Where do you set that rate, and how do you adjust that? Is it something you decide yourself, something you decide with your agent, something you decide with confidants or people in the industry, get their advice? How do you come up with those numbers?
You know, it's definitely it's definitely personal, because each person is different. And if you went in and your name is big, and then it's a roller coaster. So, you know, you might be hot one year, and then the next year, you know, you might not be as hot. So you don't want to be too high and keep yourself too high, because then you get no work. So
that's true.
You know, it's just kind of like, it's a personal thing based on where your career is headed. If you have any, you know, PR, if you have an agent, you know, it's just a conversation that you have to have once you start feeling some kind of momentum behind your name. So, you know, like me personally, I'm not a money chaser, so I have no desire to up my rate, you know, because of where my name is at. You know, I'm still at the same rate that I was when I started. Okay. So, you know, it's all personal.
Okay. No, I only asked that just because, I mean, I'm at the stage, I've been doing radio for 8 years, close to 9 years approaching, right? And, you know, I'm so used to, I'm sure you can relate to, you know, you're getting paid minimum wage, you're doing the shifts nobody wants, and you're basically grinding yourself out so that in the end, it's all worth it now in terms of career opportunities, but for financial benefit as well. And I've reached a state in my life right now where, I think I said how old I was. I'm 32 years old, and I want to be paid my worth now. I know what my worth is. I know how much, and again, I'm not greedy for money. I'm not saying you should give me six figures because I'm better, but I feel I'm good enough now where if I ask for a certain amount, I think this is my worth. I'm not going to go below this, though, because if I go below this, I'm only hurting myself. I'm not helping myself. Do you reach that certain point
Yeah.
too? Do you feel you're getting to that point where like it's not a selfish thing to ask for more, because at the same time, most people or females, we're sticking just the females in the industry, their window is like 6-9 months, right? You've surpassed that. You hope to continue to do more. You said you have your goals in the industry, and who knows how long you want to do this depends on you. It depends on your success of branding and stuff like that. But at the same time, say you're in the industry for 10 years. You don't want your rate to be the same as it was in year one, do you? You want it to be a little bit high. You want to be paid what you're worth.
Yeah, and I think when it comes down to movies, I think that there's an acceptable, ladder of payment.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you want to be paid your worth, what you really need to be looking at is appearances. So I would absolutely up my appearances. So, the rate that I started my appearances, like at Sapphire or all of those other feature dances, is definitely not the same rate I started when I first started. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to make an appearance, you should definitely up your worth, because, you just are worth more. And so you should be paid what you feel is appropriate with that. So feature dancing, any kind of appearances of that nature. The movies, I don't know. I think it might differ between person to person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a huge gain in upping your price, unless you hit crazy household name status where it's just like you're booked every single day of the year, then absolutely. If it becomes too much, absolutely up your rate so that you don't have to work, as much or as hard to, exhaust yourself. But, I think when it comes down to movies, personal choice. But with appearances and all of that, absolutely. Definitely follow your worth. And it's just a conversation you have to have with your agent or whoever is helping you, get these bookings. So.
Gotcha. Speaking of your feature dancing, though, when you started doing it, I must say you seem to be a natural at it. Do you naturally love dancing and moving around like that? Was it something that was in your background? I mean, you're Puerto Rican, so I'm sure you're used to dancing. But was it something you kind of did on the side too, or once you started becoming well known and they wanted to book you for features, did you kind of pay more attention to the dance and the show that you were going to put on?
Yeah, it was definitely not something that I knew how to do. I can't even say that
so you can
I know how to do it. I just, huh?
No, I'm saying, you know how to dance salsa, merengue, bachata? You know how to dance those things or no?
Not very good.
Oh, okay, all right.
I grew up here. I grew a very American life, so.
Don't feel bad. I had to go to classes for that, believe it or not, myself. I wanted to learn how to dance those dances. I had to actually learn how to lead. And you think I'm Hispanic, I've got hips. I can move my hips. You think I can dance. Not really. I can shake it, I can pretend, but I actually had to take classes to learn how to salsa and stuff like that. So yeah, no. You're not alone in that. Exactly.
I'm like, I mean, kind of, but not really. Like, don't put me on the spot about it, but.
Too late. When I see the Exotica, I'm going to turn the music and we're going to start dancing. As awkward as it's going to be.
I'm just going to put my head down. I'm going to be like, oh no, I don't even know this person.
Oh, wow. That's heartless right there.
No, it's not. You're trying to embarrass me publicly.
If I'm doing the same thing with you and we're both embarrassed at the same time, how am I embarrassing just you? I'm embarrassing myself, am I? Am I not?
But why would you set yourself up for something so dirty?
Because I don't. What do you mean dirty? There reaches a certain point where, like, especially when I was younger too, and it's funny how you mentioned, like, oh, you're going to embarrass me in front of people. Like, I got to the point, and maybe this is a benefit, maybe it's a downfall. No, I think it's a strength, where I always worried about what other people thought of me from kindergarten to pre-K to, grade school. I always wanted everyone to like me. I would be made fun of for my last name. My last name is Berga, not a very Hispanic last name, but people would call me Hamburger, would call me Double Mac, Bacon Burger. They just butcher my last name.
But those are legit. Those are legit names, though. You should have like a.
What do you mean legit names?
Legit. Like, sorry, I'm not making fun of you at all, I promise.
No, yes, you are. But that's okay if you are, because you know what? I can always say Shay Evans made fun of me, so great for me. No, but I reached a certain point, especially I would do drama classes, I would do school plays, I would sing when I had a voice at the time before I hit puberty. I could still sing to an extent. but I'm getting over a cold right now, so my voice is kind of hoarse. But at the same time, like, I always worried about what other people thought of me. Oh, I didn't look masculine or stuff like that. It reached a certain point where I just didn't give a fuck anymore. Excuse my language. And that's the best thing, because at the same time, I don't know, I just think I have more fun and you get to enjoy yourself. Who cares what people think? Believe it or not, Shay, before we did this interview, I was in the city. We went to Madison Square Garden. We had to do a commercial promo for the show that we're doing here, because we're going to Chicago at the end of this month for a wrestling convention or event, a huge wrestling event. And people are looking at us like, who the hell are these two idiots standing in the middle talking to absolutely nobody? You're talking to the camera. Who do they think they are? You completely block it out because you're doing your job and you're happy with what you're doing. But, no, I get you. I would never embarrass you, though. So, yeah, I would never embarrass you, so don't worry about that. I'll just give you a hug, I'll give you a handshake, and I'll walk away, and I'll leave you alone.
No, you don't have to do all that. You don't have to leave me alone. But, it's funny you say that, because my entire life, I've always just wanted people to like me. Like, I just wanted to be liked.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny now because... So growing up all the way through high school, I never really had friends like that. Like, I had a few friends here and there, but never multiple friends at a time and never groups of friends. And I just always wanted to be liked. And so now doing this, I'm sorry to say, but it's about me now, and I'm happy that I'm able to, like, move forward in my life and stop caring so much what people think about me. Like, yeah, I care to an extent, like,
and you shouldn't apologize for that. Yeah. You shouldn't apologize for that. Exactly. It should be about you. This is your life, Shay. This is about you. And I'm sure your fans understand, hey, listen, it's a business as well. And if they don't understand, unfortunately, they're stuck in the fantasy or the unreality of the situation. But I'm glad you said that, because sometimes there's reached a certain point where I had to figure out the same thing too, especially when I had to deal with past relationships where I felt I was being taken advantage of to an extent. I was like, you know what? Maybe it's not bad to be selfish. Maybe it's like, hey, maybe I want to do something that I want to do. It's not such a bad thing that, hey, maybe it's about me every once in a while type of thing. Or, hey, I want to go see Shay at Sapphire. Oh, but you have this and this to do. I don't care. I want to go see her and say hello and take a picture or whatever, because that's what I want to do. It's about me. You know what I mean? And at the same time, it's the reality, unfortunately, where I'm sure you've come to realize that too, is that no matter what you do, no matter how good of a person you are and what good of a heart that you have, Shay, there are just people that are not going to like you, regardless of the fact that you're in an industry that deals with a lot of scrutiny to begin with. They're just the people that are not going to like you no matter what you do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And something I've realized too.
Well, you got to be okay with that.
No, you have to be okay. Yeah, exactly. You have to be okay with yourself and be able to look yourself in the mirror and like who you are. It was a long time ago. No, I'm not trying to get too personal in here, but there's a long time ago I looked at myself in the mirror and I didn't like who I saw in reflection, because to me that wasn't the person I wanted to be. Now, I'm so proud. I got a grotesque beard. I'm looking at myself right now in the mirror as I'm talking to you. I'm like, yes, gigantic beard, but still, I love who I am as a human being, and I like who I am. And hopefully people like that too. If they don't, then they don't. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. But something that I want... I'm sorry, you're saying?
Oh, no, I was going to ask, like, side note, you're looking at the mirror as you're talking to me?
Yeah, because there's a mirror right here that we use for reflection, because we have a backdrop here that we need to kind of see our backdrop to make sure it's lined up. Yeah, don't worry, it's no funky thing like that. But yeah, there is a mirror here, because sometimes we do record live stream, and as ugly as I am, I have to make myself look presentable, don't I?
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Perception is reality, isn't it? Wouldn't you say perception is reality? I have to make sure I look presentable enough to a certain extent. If I wake up and my hair's all over the place, whatever, I'm going live stream and I want to look somewhat professional.
Absolutely. You don't want your beard all mushed in and all of that craziness. So I feel you. Especially
if you're doing it too, I'd be really pissed off. But speaking of that,
I'm not.
I know. But speaking of that, though, I can never get mad at you. What are you talking about? I'd be disappointed. You ever get that? Now I wouldn't be mad at you. I wouldn't be angry with you. But Shay, I'd be disappointed that you do that to me, because I would never mess up your bangs. Worse. I would never touch your bangs, but you touch my beard. How dare you? I'm just going to let you think about that. But, I'm having a great time talking to you. I could talk to you for a long period of time, but, I know we're kind of racking up on the hours here now, and I want to let you be able to do what you wanted to do. But something I've noticed as we've done this entire process, which I don't even want to call an interview, because it doesn't really feel like an interview. It's a conversation. You mentioned a couple things on your Twitter, and you don't have to address the specifics of why, but I kind of understand and felt what you were dealing with, because you're like, you know what, I'm changing my number. You're like, you know what, don't text me conversations. If you want to talk to me on the phone type of thing, because I feel now with technology, I mean, you have so much stuff out there where you can kind of distribute all your content, which you're known for, and stuff you want to promote, right? But at the same time, the art of the conversation, I feel, has died down. I mean, something like this that I'm having with you now, believe it or not, and I don't mean to make it sound sad, but it's very rare sometimes. So when you do have the ability of conversing with somebody and things flow like that, it feels so much different. So when you do meet your fans, or you do have conversations with people inside your inner circle, do you find that too? That nowadays we're so held down by tweeting something or texting something rather than just picking up the phone and just calling you? Do you feel the conversations kind of died a little bit?
Absolutely. And I think where I'm really coming from in those tweets is the need for people to have some self-agenda. You know, they want to talk to me. They want to, like, when I'm working, I'm working. Yeah. You know, you can Sex Panther me. You can talk to me in a way that I allow you to talk to me. You know, tweet me on Twitter, any of that. But when you have my personal number and you start taking advantage of my personal number, you know, you start trying to get me to work on my off time, and it was more of that I was talking about, where it was just kind of like people I know that, you know, maybe a fan of mine who I thought was a friend, and instead they're like talking more about work and more about business things, you know, telling me they're horny or telling me just different things, and it just kind of started feeling like I'm not your personal porn girl, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if you want to talk to me, you can Sex Panther me, you can do all of that. If you want to hang out, if you want to, like, get to know me, we can hang out. You know, because at the same time, I would like to have regular friends.
Yeah, of course. As would anybody.
It's very difficult for me to find people that only want platonic relationships. You know, especially when it comes to the male group. You know, it's just very difficult, and I feel like they just text my phone and they blow it up to the point where it's just unnecessary, where it's like, if you wanted that kind of conversation, there's an avenue that you can go for that, but my actual phone number is not that avenue.
Or if it was an avenue they wanted to go to, it would be something like, if you don't reciprocate back, then you're not inviting it either, so why are you continually doing that? You know what I mean?
Exactly. No, exactly. And I never understand that, where it's just kind of like, you may meet someone for, you know, like, say I go out and I'm at a club and someone is a really cool person in the club and they're taking care of me and making sure that I have security to walk me to the bathroom and, like, all of that, you know, good person. Yeah. And then I might give them my number because I was like, wow, that person was really nice. They really took care of me. Yeah. But now that person is, like, blowing up my phone for the week, you know, after that, and I'm just kind of like, okay, that wasn't really an invitation for something to happen, you know? It was like, I'm not going to, quote unquote, repay you back in sex. So, yeah, it's a hard life trying to figure out where the fantasy ends, you know, for some people.
Exactly. That's kind of what we talked about before when you were talking about meeting your fans, and not just your fans and isolate them, but just individuals that just can't separate the two. What's a genuine gesture for you, or what's going on in your mindset of why you're giving, for example, this guy your phone number, how they're interpreting it, and they're probably interpreting it, unfortunately, I hate to say this, but you already know it, they're interpreting it as, oh my God, Shay Evans, the porn star, just gave me your number. Oh, I got a shot. I'm going to nail that type of scenario. And it's like, that's not the reason why. You know, I take it very prideful when I do have the ability of contacting, and I've had the pleasure and honor of interviewing more than a couple of adult film stars, and I am granted that permission. Don't waste it. Don't take advantage of it. Don't abuse it, because, again, at the same time, it'd be very easy to abuse it, but at the same time, no, you have to honor that, because you have to understand, and any type of celebrity status too, when you have that, you can't act like a typical fan, because they're not looking at you as your fan. They're looking at you as a friend or a buddy or a confidant they can trust. So don't blow that type of scenario. But yeah, I'm sorry.
No, absolutely.
That's something you have to deal with, obviously, consistently. I'm sure dating becomes an issue as well. Which,
dating is funny.
For all of us. I saw Twitter too, and you don't have to go into detail about it too. But like, you got stood up. I'm like, guys, what the hell's going on here? And it's not the fact that you're Shay Evans, you're an adult film star, but it's like I see that in a lot of my friends posts that I see on Twitter or Facebook. They're like, oh, I'm going out, got stood up by this guy. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Shay. And I never try to be envious of other people, but I'm kind of like, I always shake my head. I'm like, dude, if I had the opportunity to go on a date with a beautiful woman, regardless, not even having the idea of the interpretation I'm gonna have sex with her, but like, if I had the opportunity just to hang out with a beautiful woman for an hour, talk, converse, why the fuck are you blowing these people off? It's like,
well, honestly, in his defense, I think he thought I was a catfish, and he just completely ghosted me after that. So I just think like he thought I was a catfish, and that I don't know, that I was just a mean person, and he just completely ghosted me after that. So I don't even know. I don't know, but he definitely stood me up, and I definitely got completely ready, straightened my hair, which takes a long time.
Oh, I was gonna ask you, is your hair naturally curly or is it straight?
Oh, very curly. It's so curly.
Oh my god.
But
I gotta see this.
wear extensions, so it's like, huh?
I was like, I gotta see that.
Oh, it doesn't look great right now because I wear extensions, so the extensions are straight. My hair is curly, so you can only imagine what that could look like.
Oh yeah, like in the beach or something like that, a warm, humid environment. Boom, huge afro.
Yes, yeah, it's pretty cute.
Yeah.
All my scenes in Miami, I'm always like, wow, my hair's not gonna last. Like, please just get to set. Just please get to set. That's what I'm like hoping for in my mind.
Yeah, guys, let's hurry up. I'm on a time limit right now. I don't know how long I can keep this. Let's go. Let's move.
Yes. No, honestly, this is exactly what it's like.
And mid-scene or mid-photo shoot, you feel it. King, boing, oh crap, here we go.
Oh, I know. I'm like, oh, we've reached the point. We've reached it, guys.
My mom's the same way, too. Believe it or not, my mom has very curly hair. It never once occurred to me when I used to let my hair grow out long. My hair used to grow out long to the point where it was by my shoulders. It was so grotesquely bad. I never had an idea that I have curly hair. Looking at my mom my entire life, she has curly hair. I'm like, oh, I never, because my hair is always short. God bless you, Shay, for what you do with your hair. Because from a guy's standpoint, to maintain that is not easy.
No, it's not.
I had a curling iron. I had to wear a skull cap when I went to bed because if not, I'd wake up and my hair would be all over the place. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
No, it's wild. And then it's like you go through a period where you're doing too much to your hair, so now you're just killing it and frying it. So you have to like slow down, stop putting so much heat on it. It's a nightmare. It's a mess.
Now you wear extensions. Is your hair naturally shorter than what you see when you wear the extensions?
Yeah. Like, I like the look of having full, like, very full hair. So I had the extensions in, and I like the length. My hair just does not grow after a certain length, and I just feel like it just doesn't like me. So I add extensions.
Well, I know you're embellishing. I'm sure you look gorgeous either with curly hair or not, but that would be a sight to see you with a full head of curly hair rather than your straight hair.
Maybe one day. Maybe I'll have because it's not like it looks bad. I don't mind it curly. I mean, I never really wear it curly because it's all the years of straightening it. It's kind of lost its curl pattern, so it's kind of like. Do me a favor.
Do it for Exotica.
Oh no!
It's gonna be November. No. It's gonna be cold. You don't have to worry about straightening it.
It'll be cold, exactly, and I don't want to have like wet hair and cold.
Why? Why would it be wet? Your hair's just naturally curly dry, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'd have to put product in it, so I'd have to put like a wet kind of product.
Just wear a hat.
Just wear a hat the whole time.
Why not? I've seen people wear hats before. One time I walked by a Vicky Chase and she was wearing a hat, and I was like, "What's up with the hat today? It looks cool, but what's up with the hat?" She's like, "Oh, I don't want to do my hair." I was like, "Oh, it looks cool."
Absolutely. I wore a Yankee hat last year. Yeah,
bumped into Luna Star, and she had her hair all done in blonde, and it was nice for the first 2 days at AVN or 3 days at AVN, and on the fourth day I wanted to go see her and say goodbye and thank her for the interview she did with me, and she was wearing a baseball cap. I was like,
Oh, absolutely.
Why baseball cap? She's like, oh, I'm done doing my hair. I'm like, oh, okay. I don't blame you.
No, and those shows are a lot of work because, you're on your feet all day.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's typically something that you have to do at night. So it's like you're either doing your hair in the morning and then doing it again at night or having someone do it. And then, just depending on your life, it could get really tiresome to the point where you're just kind of like, all right, I'm done. I give up now.
Oh, my God. Just one more quick side note, and I'll let you go, but I could talk to you forever. The thing with AVN, it was my first time ever there last January. Mm-hmm. First time I ever went. Mm-hmm. I did this whole thing at Exotica last year in 2017. I was told I'd do a pretty good interview. They're like, I should go to AVN. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. Went there, got a media credential. Everybody kept saying, prepare yourself. I couldn't because I didn't know what I was preparing myself for. Long story short, first day, which was that Wednesday. No joke. I go in there, and I'm not like I'm starstruck, but I'm like, oh, my God, that's Rachel Starr. Oh, my God, that's Monique Alexander. Oh, my God, that's Romy Rain. Oh, my God, oh, my God. And I'm like, I got to get these interviews. So I'm dragging my brother along. He's my cameraman. Tough job for him, right? And I'm running around, and I'm on my feet, and I'm wearing comfortable shoes. You guys are wearing high heels. You guys were wearing skimpy outfits. But literally, I was on my feet for 8-9 straight hours. I didn't have breakfast in the morning. I didn't eat for 13 straight hours. I was up. And then once the event was over, I was like, crap, I gotta go find something to eat because I'm starving now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, God bless you guys for doing that. It's really easy to get lost in the entire event, too, because there's just so many people. You need escorts to go to the bathroom because you guys are just always busy with lines.
That, and it's always cold. It's always freezing. We're wearing really skimpy outfits.
Oh, yeah.
We really give a lot. It's
you do.
No easy thing to.
And that's what I want people to
stand there for hours in the cold, wearing nothing, not eating.
I couldn't do it. You would not, and nor would you want to see me do it. But although I do feel keep myself in pretty decent shape, though. But yeah, I couldn't pull it off. My days of being a Chippendales dancer have long gone in my life, so I'm giving up on that dream. But it's been a dream talking to you, Shay. It really has. Something I want to end on this, and hopefully I get a chance to see it down the road. If not at Exotica, hopefully you're making a trip back to the East Coast pretty soon before that. If not, definitely catch you down the road or whenever you're on the East Coast. I saw you a couple times on Twitter with some sandwiches, some hamburgers. I was like, geez, I'm starving. Like, I have to have some Five Guys or some Shake Shack or In-N-Out burgers or something because they're just so good when you posted them.
Yeah.
So next time, if you're ever in the area, in the New York metropolitan area, Shake Shack on me, okay? I got you.
Perfect. But, I'm holding you to that.
And that's another thing, too. I'm an old school guy, so I don't make promises that I don't intend to keep, so you should know that about me. If I promise you that, you're going to get your burgers because, I wouldn't make that promise. If not, what's the point of doing it? I'm also doing something very cool, too, and I don't know if you want to partake in this. Have you ever been to Peru in your life?
No, I haven't.
All right, so there are a lot of Peruvian delicacies there, food there. A lot of people say go to Peru, and I visited Peru, obviously, when I was younger, and they say, oh, the food's amazing, it's tasty. Now, I also dive into cooking as well. I do like cooking. And I had Cindy Starfall on the show one time, and she was talking about how she visited Peru. She loves the food there. I asked her, what's your favorite dish? And she's like, pollo a la brasa. It's basically a roasted chicken with crunchy French fries, lettuce, and these spicy sauces that you add into it, and you drink it with Inca Cola. I don't know if you've had Inca Cola. It's a yellowish bubblegum type of drink, which tastes really good. Or you have chicha, which is a purple drink made from corn and pineapple from actually Peruvian corn, which is purple. Yeah. So I said to her, hey, if you want, I will bring you a dish, and you can have it, and then you could test it out. You could see whether you like my mom's preparation of it, or you can like the way I prepare it. And she's like, oh, definitely bring it, and I'm going to bring it for her. Would you like to partake in this and give me your opinion on which one you feel is better? It's free food. Can you turn it down?
Yeah. You're doing this in what, Exotica or?
Exotica in November, yeah. It's easier for me because I'm from Jersey, so it's just easier for me to drive down there. But I can't take her on the plane with me. All right.
I'm super down for that.
All right, so
I love food. Let's do this.
You can test my culinary skills and give me your honest opinion. And don't worry if you offend me. I will not take it personally. I just will never cook. I just will never cook for you ever again. That's the only thing.
That's okay. That's. I feel like that's fair.
That's fair, right? You ask for free food, you like it, great. I'll cook for you again at some point down the road. If you don't, I will never cook for you ever again. And I will mess up one of your bangs.
Oh, no.
No, come on. Nah. All right. But, yeah, no, just partake in that. Like I said, if you're in the New York area, if you're ever down for a Shake Shack, I will definitely, on me. I'm a man of my word. I keep my promise. I'm the old school where I feel like if I shake your hand and say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. That's just the way I am. So, yeah, I would definitely love to do that for you, too. And just one last thing in closing. As I wanted to say this to you, as I said this to you in New York, and I'll say this to you again here on the podcast as we're closing up here with Shay Evans, guys. Guys, if you want to catch Shay Evans, I don't know what the hell's wrong with you. Go catch her on her Instagram, Twitter, at Yay for Shay, YAYY, the number 4, Shay, SHAY. Check out all her stuff and follow her, guys, as well as me on the High Spot Podcast, as well as my Twitter handle, at BryBurga, all one word. I just want to thank you because I think, you guys hear this a lot in your conventions. I'm sure you hear it when you do, appearances or doing featured dancing. But Shay, I honestly said to you, and I meant it when I said it, though, that I appreciate everything you do. I look at somebody like yourself at only 27 years old and everything you've accomplished in an industry that's very competitive. It seems to be very competitive from the outside looking in. That relies really on you to brand and market yourself, and the way you've gone so far. It's kind of motivation for somebody like me. And obviously my brother, who I do the wrestling podcast with as well, and this is kind of separate from it. I admire your work ethic. I respect it a lot because it takes true people that hustle and care about their careers to do it. And, of course, there's going to be scrutiny, but I hope with all that scrutiny you just ignore it because I'm sure all your fans, supporters would agree with me. I don't speak for a lot of people, but how much respect and admiration I have for you and everything you do, and I wish you nothing but obviously continued success in all the short-term and long-term goals you hope to achieve. And I'm just honored to have you on the show and finally be able to speak to you a little bit more one-on-one, except for the 5 minutes we did in New York. And ultimately, if you don't hear it enough, you should hear it every day, and that is thank you. So thank you, Shay.
No, thank you. That was so sweet.
Sweet, and I meant
not many
everyone.
people go on and say, all of that.
But it's true because you guys work so hard. I mean, I'm not even saying you guys. I'm not trying to generalize it as porn stars. You yourself, I've done background check in terms of even when I do interviews, I try not to learn everything about somebody because I feel it's boring. I'd rather just kind of learn it authentically as I'm talking to you. But at the same time, you have to do research, and when you do research, I see from your upbringing, I see a lot of comparisons and realities in terms of you. Your parents are still together. You're a tight-knit family. I have a very tight-knit family, so I see those comparisons. And when I see somebody like yourself deal with all those things and then turn into such positives of you becoming your own individual person, and you becoming, more comfortable yourself, not only sexually but emotionally as well. Like you said right now, it's about you. You've reached the point where you don't really, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but it's not about caring about pleasing everybody else. It's about pleasing the one person that matters is yourself. It inspires me and motivates me to bust my ass. Like I had the flu a couple days ago, but I was still working. I was still trying to get stuff done because it's not going to wait for you no matter what. So I just want to say thank you for that because I don't think you guys get enough appreciation and thanks that you guys should be getting.
Yeah, no, and I agree. We definitely don't hear it a lot. We hear other things, but it's really nice to actually hear that aloud instead of it being assumed, So thank you.
No, thank you for your time, Shay. Shay, what do you got coming up in the next couple of months before Exotica that we look forward to right now?
I got a busy week. I
know. Don't think about Teddy. Don't think about Teddy. Yes, I know.
What?
I'm joking. I was like, I know. Don't think about Teddy. I know you got a busy week.
I wasn't even thinking about Teddy.
Oh my God! I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm terrible. This is why we're not compatible. Damn it.
This is why.
Exactly. This is the only reason. Yes.
But yeah, no, I have the award show on Sunday, so I'll be at the Urban X Awards. I've got 2 nominations, Nicest Breast and Urban X Hottie, so I hope for luck there. And then I will be in Washington, D.C. on the 20... Ooh, I don't know what day that is. It is Thursday.
You'll be in Washington at some point. Exactly.
and I will be bartending, so I'll be the bartender for the night, and I'll be serving some drinks, and I'll be doing like VIP rooms and all of that.
Nice.
So it'll be super fun. And then I'll finish out the week in Vegas, doing a feature show, and then hosting the pool the next day.
For Sapphire?
So that's, Sapphire in Vegas.
Oh, couldn't make it over to the East Coast. Damn it. All right. Well, you're gonna have a good time at the pool
Hurry, you
party.
gotta make it fast. It's next weekend.
No, yeah, exactly. No, I'm saying it would have helped in the trip in terms of like the jet lag and stuff like that. But how are the pool parties over there? Pretty good? I've never been there.
In Vegas, absolutely. The pool parties are great. It's always super hot, so as long as you know it's going to be hot, you'll be okay. Stay hydrated.
Yeah.
But no, it's a lot of fun.
What's the atmosphere like? Is it very loose in terms of people can kind of just come up and approach you and talk to you, or is it more of like, oh, you got to get into a line or something like that? What's it like over there?
For the pool party, it's a very loose atmosphere. I'm just hanging out. We're all just having drinks. So if you see me, absolutely come say hi, come get a hug, come take a photo.
Oh,
You can
nice.
do all of that. It's a super just fun atmosphere, and it's topless now, so that's super exciting.
Well, it's only fair, right? Because the guys go topless. The women should be going topless as well. If they have that option at
equality.
least. Right? It's called equality for a reason. God damn it. And no, because I've never been to Vegas. I only went to Vegas the first time was in January, so I've never been there during the summer. Maybe next time when summer hits around, I'll try to give it a shot. Because I had a chance to go to the Club Sapphire. I think the second to last day of AVN. But I couldn't because I was going to go there see a friend of mine, Jessa Rhodes. She was like, you should come by. She was going to feature that day. But I couldn't because I had to catch the red eye back to Jersey because I had to cover a wrestling event the following day. So I was on no sleep. I had to go from Las Vegas to Newark Airport in New Jersey. And then from there drive to Philadelphia for a wrestling event, sleep in Philadelphia, and then drive all the way back to Jersey the following day. So, yeah. I missed it.
So you're on our schedule, so you know what it's like.
I know what it's like to live off a suitcase. These next 2 weeks are going to be tough for me because the next 2 weeks I got to go to Atlantic City for a 2-day wrestling event over there with a lot of professional wrestlers that are going to be really important. And then the following week I got to go to Chicago, or maybe Chicago for 4 days. I've never been to Chicago, so I'm going to definitely have some deep dish pizza.
Absolutely do that for sure.
Anyone you recommend? Have you been to the Chicago deep dish pizza places there or no?
It starts with a G. I've only been there a couple of times. I'm really good at telling you where to go, huh? It starts with a G.
You're amazing. You're so awesome, Shay. You're so awesome. I love that about you. It's like, do you know?
To be helpful. Okay.
Do you know the car that hit you? Yeah, it's big. It's white. I'm like, can you believe more descriptive, Shay?
No, I feel like it's like Georgino's? Okay, well,
Georgino's?
I'll stop trying. Wait, what?
Georgino's is what you're trying to say?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Okay.
Something like that. Anyways, it's delicious. I don't know what it's called.
All right, well, I'll tweet it to you, and then I'll put a question mark. Shay, is this it? And then you can reply back to it.
Absolutely. Absolutely, and I'll reply back. Absolutely.
Awesome. But, Shay, thank you so much for your time. Greatly appreciate it. You got a busy day. Like I said, hopefully I'll hit Sapphires at one point in the summer. Would you recommend it? Those pool parties are pretty good?
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're fun with topless girls, and, the atmosphere is usually super fun and chill, and a lot of times during the weekend, there's tons of stars there, so.
Well, you know what? Since I was your first in terms of this whole compatibility thing, which clearly we're not, I will wait next year, hopefully, because again, a year's a long time from now, a lot can happen. If you're going to do an event in Vegas at one point, I am only going to wait till you're actually in Vegas to do it. You'll be
so
my
I will
first.
Pop your cherry.
You will pop my cherry in Sapphire, Las Vegas, first time.
Perfect. That sounds perfect. All
Awesome.
right.
All right, Shay. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day, and God bless.
You too. Yay for Shay.
And a special thanks goes out to Shay Evans. Cannot thank her enough for coming on the show. If you guys want to follow what she's doing, like I mentioned before as I was closing this out, you guys can follow her yet again on Twitter at Yay for Shay, all one word, and Instagram as well, Yay for Shay. And, like I said, it was a complete honor and joy to speak to her. By the time this episode goes out, she would have already had her birthday. She's going to be 27, and all I can say is, Shay, I hope you had an amazing birthday. Well-deserved for you, with family, friends, whatever you want to do, whether you're going to go back and just chill and relax or go out and celebrate and, paint the town red. You deserve it. You're definitely somebody who works hard. I admire a lot of your work ethic. I admire you as a person. So I hope you enjoyed it. Well-deserved. Have a very happy birthday. So, guys, that's it for me. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter at BryBurga. You can also follow the shenanigans I do on the High Spot Podcast at High Spot Podcast with my tag team partner, Jeff Martin. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram as well. And also visit our website, highspotpodcast.com. So, guys, until we meet again, I am the Trendsetter, the Master of Ceremonies, bidding you guys adieu. But don't fret and don't be worried, because you know what? I will be back. Because I can't get away from you guys. Because I do this show for one reason and one reason only. I do this for you, the crew.